Welcome to Connecting Greeks, a streaming comedy show and podcast designed to explore and enhance Greek culture around the world. Join hosts Angelo, Adi, and Foti as they bring you fun and interesting guests from all walks of Greek life. Grab a kafedaki and join us.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Connecting Greeks podcast, the podcast where we talk to Greeks from all over the world that do great things, amazing things, and we try to connect them to our culture. And we usually find out that we have so much in common no matter where they're from, no matter what they do. And three people who couldn't be more different that are connected in so many ways because of our Greekness. Foti Stamos and Angelo Tsarouchas. Hello guys, how are you?
Hey, how you doing? How's it going, buddy?
I'm good, man. I'm excited because, food is my number one love of life in everything I do. And we have somebody today, which I'll pass over to you, Foti, to kind of tell us, or Angelo.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, summer's behind us. We had a little bit of a break. And not only did we leave good weather, we came back to hot weather here in the U.S., which is a little strange, right? But in any event, as you mentioned, we have a great guest, a man that I find is pretty iconic to us in the industry. But before we bring on our guest, I also want to turn over to Angelo, because Angelo, this is coming back after the summer's over session.
Right, that's right. We everybody went to Greece but me this year.
And me.
Going in October, so it doesn't matter. Foti went to Greece. Where were you, Foti? I was in Greece. Everybody went to Greece this year. Everybody. Except
me too.
Right?
Me too.
That's you next time. So, but we'll get to it. We want to welcome from the Livanos Restaurant Group, Mr. Nick Livanos. Welcome to the show, Nick. And,
thank you. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Good to have you on. And the guys when I got the bio and everything, I know your restaurants. And I know that you're always looking to do new things. And, the Molivos and Oceana and the diners. And I'm going to start right now because the industry now, what I see now, Nick, it's restaurant business, but it's people business, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Of course.
It is. And what I've seen is your diverse portfolio. And I was curious to ask you right off the top, what these things is. You got like the Modern Barn, the City Limits Diner, you got the Molivos, you got Oceana. So you have different concepts.
Yes.
Do you do it by region? Like, would it be like geographical where you're going to put your restaurants to the population?
Location always dictates the concept and the direction we will take. So, for example, right now I'm at City Limits Diner. You could see our iconic coffee cup in the background. And it's location that drives what we did here, because we're on a very busy intersection in White Plains. It's the corner of Central Avenue and Terrytown Road, probably the biggest and best intersection in Westchester. We serve from 6,000 to 8,000 customers a week. So it is a very location driven. And when we did City Limits here, it was because my father had diners originally, and we always wanted to revisit the diner and do it correctly.
Right.
So this was the best location for it. We won't necessarily open City Limits just anywhere.
That's right. Now, I'm a big fan of the diners. Originally, Nick, I'm from Canada. So I grew up in a burger restaurant that my dad had. Mm-hmm. And my dad was in the food catering business, with the canteen trucks where they go to construction sites and that stuff. And we had the burgers. And here's the one thing. And I'm going to ask you this question. We're going to go over the place right now. Somebody said to me, as a comedian, I travel all over the place. They go, what is it about Greeks that make the best hamburgers anywhere? Why do we make the best burgers? We do. Why is it?
It's just instinctive how to cook good food. And we've been doing it now for so long, and we know quality. So it really starts with a real proper mix of chuck, maybe 20% fat, which is a perfect burger. Or you could blend some other meats in with that chuck. So I think we just know what we're doing. It's true. When's the last time you went to a diner and they'll say the hamburger is terrible, or to any Greek restaurant for that matter? I mean, it's not unusual in our Greek restaurant, even Oceana. we have a remarkable hamburger on the menu for lunch, not dinner.
And it's a very American. It's an American thing, right, guys?
Yeah.
I mean, you go to any restaurant now. I think Red Lobster has a burger. It's like everybody wants to put a burger up on these days. And so, Nico, what part of Greece are you from?
So my father is from Lesbos.
And my mom. Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. And
My
my
mom's
mother's
from
from
Lesbos.
Kos. So my parents met here and they married here. And but I'm the second generation, and from a very young age, I've been traveling to Greece very regularly.
Of course, I should have known Lesbos because of Molivos restaurant.
Yes. And we have our ancestral home there that's been in the family for about 105 years, and we go every summer.
Now, were your grandparents Minotas?
Three of my four grandparents are from Asia Minor.
Right.
So, they basically had a fleet.
Like my grandparents.
And so on my father's side, they went through Chios first.
Right.
But for whatever reason, because they were all commercial fishermen, they saw opportunity in Lesbos, so they continue to migrate. So I have family in Chios, but we are, when people hear the Livanos name, automatically they say, "Oh, you're from Chios." I said, "No, actually my dad was born in Lesbos."
In Lesbos.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's funny. Smyrna's been a hot topic on the film festival circuit. And I know a lot of the guests we're talking to from Samos, from Chios, Lesbos, a lot of them now have the Asia Minor, roots. And it's funny when you hear a lot of these stories, how they, we come from a history of migration, right? They left and then they left again. And it seems like we're always traveling. But I want to ask you, Nick, because I know here I am hogging all the questions. So
No, not at all.
Nick, do you do this? And I know some guys in Canada do this. Over here, if you hear about a new restaurant concept, let's say Houston or New Orleans or San Francisco or something, will you hop on the plane to go check it out? Will you do stuff like that?
I may, if it's totally within the timing of what we're doing, and it really, and I see something. Wow, that's what we want to do. I've definitely done that in the past.
Right. It's good to see it, I guess, right?
But you know what? Athens more than ever. I love the dining scene in Athens. It's never been better. It's amazing how we have really elevated general cooking in Greece, great chefs. So right. I get inspired just going to Greece.
Well, if I can add to that, Nick, that to your point with your concept of Molivos has been around for over 20 years. Is that
24 years? Yes.
24 years. Yes. And I remember when Molivos first launched, as you were gaining great press, I felt that your concept of Molivos is what triggered the beginning of elevating Greek cuisine in the U.S. because it also became a benchmark for other restaurants who want to replicate what you were doing for Greek cuisine. So I commend you for that.
I know, it's great. And the one thing we've done, I mean, there's so many Saro Tavernas that have been opening up, all these great Greek seafood restaurants, and they've helped elevate the cuisine. But there's not much difference between the Milos and Avra and Kima that are in Manhattan, right, where we definitely maintain a certain home cooking. We do an amazing lamb uveci, Lachano Dolmares, Kuneli Stifado, some of these great classics that you won't see other Greek restaurants do. And they will continue to appear on the new menu.
And aside from the food at Molivos, you were the first also to feature an all Greek wine list in the U.S., which is also commendable because that shows your commitment and your confidence in Greek wines in this global market of wines. When
my wine director proposed we're going to go all Greek, I did give him that look. Are you sure? And then it didn't take much convincing because we have 700 wines, different Greek wines on our list. I think we're the biggest Greek wine list in the U.S. and maybe even in Greece. Because the one thing I've noticed in the Greek restaurants I go to, there's very few restaurants that have more than 100 different wines.
Yeah.
Yes. So, which is
you have 700 at your restaurant.
Yes.
7 different kinds.
I thought you meant overall.
Our whole just
Oh,
just
wow.
Molivos
That's
has
awesome.
700 different
Wow.
wines.
Wow.
You know,
Oh, that's great.
we have we may have one particular wine and maintain all the different vintages, so that's why. But it may shrink a little bit because in our new location, storage is tight, and we actually have an off-premise cellar right now just to accommodate our inventory. Yeah.
Have you ever been asked, Nick, to take Molivos to another city?
We haven't. We've considered Florida, but you know, we're very hands-on, and the idea of going to another state means a family member would have to move there. And my wife has already threatened me. We have four. You're not taking the kids away, so it's okay to stay put.
Yeah.
My oldest son Johnny right now is in Greece, and he's leaving. He spent 4 days in Athens and leaves tomorrow for Crete to conduct a wine tour. So even my kids are very involved.
Just a quick note on your son Johnny. Pretty much everything I know about Greek wine, I learned through Johnny because of him guest hosting our wine webinars, where Foti is the wine expert. I'm kind of the outsider. So I listened to Foti and Johnny, and my God, Johnny knows a lot about Greek wine, and he's so well-spoken, and he's so he just has that whole vibe about him, and I love every time we have him as a guest. So I just wanted to throw that in there.
And it helps that he's a good-looking fellow.
Yeah, he's great.
Pupefti.
That's a great expression.
So Nick, what's the trend? This is interesting. So, in my routine, I do a joke about I'll only eat at a Greek restaurant if it's owned by Greeks. And the reason I say that is there's a lot of concepts, especially here in America, where they will use a Greek brand concept, but they're not Greek. So I'll go to a city, and the first thing I do when I go to a restaurant, and I'm not saying it's good or bad, if it's a Greek restaurant, I want to meet the owner. And the other guy said to me, "Why do you want to do that?" I said, "If the owner's not Greek, I'm not eating here." If I do that the same with Chinese or Lebanese or whatever the cuisine could be. I noticed, I think a Molivos would do excellent in Los Angeles because we don't have enough Greek eateries here. There's been a few of them, but there's not a lot. And when people, it's funny, in America, people, when they hear Greek, the first thing they think of course, is they associate it to the Greek festivals. And they go, we love, they tell you, we love a gyro or a gyro, or in New York, you call it gyro gyro. But it's funny here that most people I talk to they'll call me, they'll go to different cities and say, where should I go eat? I'm in Cincinnati or I'm in Seattle. And they're always asking where they should go eat. And more than not, more people want to go. I think, do you find that it's raising knowledge, like Italian food or Chinese food? With Greek food, we're known for the festivals. And the festivals usually do, because here in Southern California, we got lots of festivals that they do. And I know it's the season they do them all over the place. But do you find that when you're looking at concepts, do you come up with the concepts or do people bring them to you sometimes or they ask you?
No, we come up with them. Yeah. Right. And I mean, because we were always so seafood driven, we were very motivated to do Oceania, and we opened it up 31 years ago in 54th and Madison, and 12 years ago we moved to 49th and 6th. And we consider Oceania our flagship.
Right.
So it was from Oceania. Then once we broke into New York City, then we felt more comfortable to open more restaurants, and that's when we opened Molivos. But at the same time, we live in Westchester, and we know it's our backyard, and we know it well. So that's how we did City Limits and the Modern Barn. But all distinctly different.
All distinct. And the concept of Molivos, was it as far as was it in your mind of who was actually going to be the chef or who's going to be cooking the food? Was it more of your internal hands-on in the kitchen, or did you have someone that you that you believed in and was confident to put out what you believe was the best expression of Greek food?
Well, at the time, Oceana was on fire, and Rick Moonen was our executive chef. And we told him, Rick, we want to do a Greek restaurant. And right away he goes, I got the perfect Greek chef for you, someone that worked with him. That was Jim Botsakos. So Jim opened up Molinos, but Rick helped us. So Rick and Jim went to Greece and spent a couple of weeks there. They had the tutelage of Aglaia Kremetsi. Aglaia is a great authority on Greek cuisine and the history of it. So she took them out. She took them to the markets. They cooked in their apartment. So Rick was even though he wasn't Greek, definitely was very instrumental in the opening up of Oceana.
Nice.
You may know Rick. He's LA based now. I'm sorry.
Atlanta?
Las Vegas based. I'm
Vegas,
sorry.
yeah.
And he RM is his restaurant. So he made a big move and went out west.
Good for him.
Yeah, because the West were not as serviced in Greek food. They have it. I think there's one place. There's a place, Kokari, I think, in
San Francisco.
And that George Marcus is part of that group, that thing where they're doing there. But California has 40 million people. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of room here to do. And it's funny because now they're trying to. I've noticed a few places like fast food places, like those Jimmy the Greek or Nick the Greek. It's always the Greek, right? Nick the Greek, Spiro the Greek, Footy the Greek, whatever the thing is. But
we visit Kokari just from the question you asked earlier. And I love what they're doing there.
Nice restaurant. Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's a very nice restaurant.
The folks from Avra also opened up in Hollywood or Beverly Hills?
And Beverly Hills.
They did. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't been to it yet. I haven't gone to that one. But I also want to say, Nick, thanks for coming on today because it's always Kalimnos. I'm about to barf with every guest from Kalimnos. Now we got somebody from Mytilene on the show. So it makes it better because Forti has been bringing all these guests from Kalimnos. Hey, Ari, he's been doing that to us a lot lately. And it's like because he's trying to promote Kalimnos as the best Greek island. But I'm going to ask you about Mytilene is a very underserviced tourist destination, and it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's Americans are not going unless you're Greek American, but there are a lot of European tourists.
Right.
A lot of Brits, a lot of Germans. And what's fascinating is they're buying homes there. They're retiring there. They love it. They see what we see. And I'm always surprised at the amount of people that are buying real estate there.
So I want to ask all you guys a question here.
Yes.
Why is Greek honey better than any other honey in the world? My wife says it's true. Is it the bees? Are they drinking Metaxa? What is it? Like why is the honey better in Greece? Do you know that?
The natural vegetation that they're able to pollinate. The best honey I've had comes from Ikaria. I love the Ikarian honey. Yeah. I like it better than what we have in Lesbos. I've had amazing honey from the mountains outside of Sparti, pine honey. Yeah. But it's every time you think you've had the best honey ever, someone says, "Try this honey." It's like, wow. No, it's true. I mean, we definitely thrive in the honey industry, and I think it's getting better for whatever reason. One possible theory: when conditions are stressful, the lack of rain, let's say during the summer, I know that sometimes makes a better product. So I don't know if that applies to honey the way it applies to wine and grapes, but that it's possible. But I've never actually researched that. Now I will.
No, now you got me curious.
Yeah.
Excellent. Mm-hmm. So, Nick, this has been really for me an honor that we were able to get you onto our show. We've heard a lot about you through the years. Your name is always mentioned in the parade as far as some of the best restaurants, Greek restaurants in the country. Have you ever thought about possibly opening something in Greece?
No, I want to go to Greece and relax and enjoy myself.
I don't blame you, Nick.
No reason. You know, it's we have 4 restaurants right now. Every time we've opened a restaurant, it was never because we're looking to grow. Some opportunity presents itself. Would I want to do more Greek restaurants? Yes, but I would stay focused locally.
Yeah.
I like Connecticut. Maybe I would do something in Connecticut, but no rush. You know, we just got out of the pandemic. It was a very rough couple of years.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're just catching our breath again, and we just got fully staffed again. So we're in a good place, and no reason to rush.
Excellent. So
now, Nick, a lot of people now are going out. The skasane in the house. Like, I know myself, people are going out now. Like, I mean, I see comedy shows, movie theaters, restaurants. Mm-hmm. People were cooped up for 2 years. They want to go out. I mean, you notice that surge ever since parenthesis normalized?
We definitely have. It's basically back to normal, and there's even better spending. I mean, we've had to raise all our prices because of what's been happening with inflation, but there's been no resistance. So I find that interesting too. We don't want to raise them anymore. We feel, because there will be at some point that we're getting expensive. I feel it now, but people have disposable income.
Well, they didn't spend anything for 2 years.
Yeah, maybe that's the reason. Sure.
All that cash they're sitting on.
Yeah.
But Nick, we wanted to take this opportunity in the interview to ask you a question as we come to the finale of our interview with you. As a restaurateur, and being in it for so many years and seeing so many changes in the industry, I'm sure you've gone through multiple amounts of changes that you had to pivot and adjust to. But what are the most important elements, in your opinion, in running a successful restaurant?
That's a great question. For sure, what has worked for us and all my key team members, from a very young age, my father, from 13 years old, he had me working as a busboy. And then when I was 15 years old, he had me working in the kitchen. And slowly I worked all the positions in the diner back then. It's important to understand every position in the restaurant, because you then understand and respect everyone. So, for example, my best executive chefs have been chefs who have also worked in the dining room. So they don't have an attitude towards the waiter. A good executive chef wants his cuisine represented properly and described properly. So he will treat the waiter with extra love and extra care, especially if he's done it. And vice versa. My best wait staff or my best managers have worked in the kitchen. And they understand how hard a kitchen employee works. They understand what a dishwasher, the lowest person on the totem pole in a restaurant, they will go out of their way and give him something extra to eat, or in the thick of it, bring him a bottle of water or soda. So by working all the positions in our business, that's when you understand everything about it. And what's also so important in our business, timing. Every step has to count. And you walk into the kitchen, you picked up a dirty plate off a table. Every step means something for the kitchen, for the cook, and for us. So it's these little things that make the difference by being a good operator and a great operator and being very efficient. A little thing, but it makes a difference in the years of the steps that you take. You know how we all count steps now?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I have my watch and I see what I've done 8 miles or 10 miles today. And did those steps count? Did every step you took make a difference?
Very well said.
Well said.
Yeah.
You make it sound so simple, Nick, but then when we go out to dine, now to your point, I think to some degree we kind of do see some of these details that are overlooked, where you kind of make a comment about, this restaurant is being negligent or ignorant to these details. So, very good point.
I've seen some chefs or cooks, they get a little nasty towards a waiter. There's maybe some resentment because they know they're making much more money than they make.
Yeah.
But you'll never see it from someone that already has worked in the front of the house. They understand and respect it.
Excellent.
And the other thing now, there's a big shortage of staff everywhere. I know here in California, there restaurants and stuff are having a hard time getting everywhere, and not just here, Australia, Canada, everywhere. It seems we're rolling back, and so people I find have to be. There's restaurants that put signs up that say, "Please be patient," as we're trying to service everybody as fast as we can.
We did feel that for a little bit, but we're fully staffed now.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, great.
Great news.
That's good.
Yes.
Amazing. Foti, is that your question? Anything else?
That was a question. I want to personally thank Nick for taking the time out of his busy life, because he is ready to open up the new Molivos, which, if you want to just give us quick details on the location of the new Molivos.
Sure. It's a whole new location for us, a whole new neighborhood. It's Hell's Kitchen. So we're at 402 West 43rd Street, so right west of 9th Avenue. It's a very densely populated neighborhood. We have many high-rises all around us. We're right near Broadway and the theater, and also near the business district. So we should benefit from all three things that's important in New York. Every day, what I've noticed, as I'm standing in front of the restaurant or I'm walking out, someone will stop by and ask us, "When are you opening? We've heard so much about you," or "We've been going to the other location." So we definitely have been receiving a lot of love and support from this neighborhood. Very different from anywhere else we've been in Manhattan.
Excellent.
Wonderful. Very nice. Well, Nick, on behalf of all of us at Connecting Greeks, I just want to say thank you, as Foti said, for taking time out, for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for having such a wonderful son who's helped us along the way and gave us so much knowledge of Greek wine. And again, thank you so much. And we hope future success on everything you do. And Foti, anything you want to say?
No, just, again, thank you very much. We're going to have all the information at the notes of the podcast when we release it.
Great.
Angelo, once again, thank you for making this extra special as always.
Next time in New York, I'm checking out Molivos for sure.
Please do. I look forward to meeting all of you in
Yeah.
person.
And if we can't get into Molivos, can we just say we know you, Nick?
Of course.
That's great.
That's the Greek style right there.
Yeah.
Well, we want to thank everybody out there for joining and listening and watching. We want to thank Nick once again for taking the time out. I want to thank Foti. I want to thank Angelo, who's baking in the Los Angeles sun right now. And we want to thank everybody out there. And thanks for watching, listening, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye, guys. Bye, Nick. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye,
See you
guys.
soon.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of the summer. Que
Thank
calomina.
you.
Calomina.
Calomina, everyone.